Right, I'm leaning towards. I think we played Shaman yesterday, so we haven't seen what Mage looks like. I'm a little afraid to see what Warlock looked like. But as far as like the overall thing with Hearthstone is, there's just these weird, choppy blocks in there that you wouldn't see in other games, right? Like I'm really surprised that we don't see more outrage in the the fact that they don't update older cards to kind of make sense. You know what I mean? So that's actually why I made the HS files. I know the first one about casting spells was really long. Sorry about that, but like excess mana, for example, right? So back in the day, they didn't want a card to have a card that just didn't do anything. They wanted every card to have some effect at some point. So there's also mind games where if your opponent's deck is empty of minions, it just pulls out a 1/1 dude. And it's like, how are we allowing Blizzard to have this totally different balance of cards, right? Like as soon as Jade Blossom came out, we should have demanded that it either has the same effect as excess mana as wild growth or not, right? Like they need to change something in there. All these weird micro balances that they're just making themselves. It just puts a bad taste in my mouth from a game company, right? So like I don't know what other games you guys play a lot, but like I like to watch League of Legends. Was never that great at it. I like to watch it though, and I know for a fact that like the League community would go nuts if they saw something from Riot that was like, you know what, the ADC role is winning too much. We're just gonna fix the amount of damage it does without telling you how much, without telling you why, or without telling you what effect that has on the game. And that's basically what they just did to Arena, right? It's like it's just so weird. We haven't seen the effects of it yet, but that's what it's like. All right, let's do a draft here. Let me pause the music so we can put this up on YouTube eventually. My goal is to clip the drafts, have just a draft channel so that we can go back and revisit our drafts. So the first one was a Glyph. I always take Glyph. I know some of you guys love when I have a Pyroblast, but I always really like Glyph. The value of it is too insane. We might regret this if we get a Dragon's Fury, right? We might, if you guys were here for the Dragon's Fury deck, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I was thinking. It did not work out very well. So I haven't seen the value of Snap Freeze yet. I think if we get in the next set something like the Snow Chugger, where it has, we still have the Water Elemental, but the Water Elemental is just too valuable to use to attack with something just to Snap Freeze, right? But something like a 1/2 elemental that freezes, right? Like a drop elemental, a water drop elemental, or something like that would be really good with Snap Freeze. It can even have Rush, right? Like what if we got a 1/2 Rush elemental that froze? That would make Snap Freeze really cool. I would like that. Not the best combo still because you're still losing two cards, but Nightblade is, it's just old school. It's just not valuable enough. Frost Nova is okay, especially if we get a really aggressive deck or if we get behind. There is a place for Frost Nova in the world, especially one of them. One of them can give you a lot of swing in the arena. It's kind of like Equality. Equality has that ability to swing a game. Frost Nova not as much as Equality because Equality is just one of those cards that will always have the ability to find a play in Hearthstone. I really like the Beetle, and I know that we get really good value out of the Apprentice, and that we can with our spells, especially with Glyph. But the 3 armor from Beetle might even be better. But we're going to take the Apprentice here, just because we are Mage and we're going to have spells. But I don't know. Drawing cards is really good. Ooh, a Hungry Crab. So we saw one mage last week who loved mirror images so much that there were 5 of them, but it turns out it wasn't that good. So I think so they definitely, we didn't see that big of a change in drop rates for Paladin. We still saw 2 silver swords in both drafts. We saw 2 hexes with our shaman, but I'm getting a feeling that we're seeing some more basic cards here for the mage, right? We just saw the knight the guy that does 3 damage to face. I already forgot his name, Night Stalker or something like that, and now our Rifleman. So maybe we are seeing some effects of it. We're going to take the Hungry Crab. You can get insane value out of a Hungry Crab. We don't have anything big yet. We might be able to get an Elemental Chain going here. Ooh, Ravencaller. Ravencaller is my jams. That's why we made a YouTube video about him. So the guy I just talked about, if they made an Rush Elemental that freezes, maybe we get to see Frost Mage going again. Though without Ice Block, I'm not sure we'll see Control Mage for a really long time. I tried to make it work first thing this season, and it's fair. I think it's fair to get rid of Ice Block. I'm not a hater of that. I'm not complaining because the card shaped what Mage was forever. Like every single identity of Mage was Ice Block. I would like to see them go to maybe like a Frost Mage Quest would be kind of fun. I miss Quest Mage. But let's get a fatty. Charge Devil Sword is always good. Ooh, this is the first really tough pick here. So Scalebane is offered up a lot, I feel like, and it really helps shape a deck though. But Fireball is a win condition. Having Fireballs, never bad. Unless it's from an STD or something like that. No, sorry, that's too far. That's not what I meant. But I think we want the Meteor because we don't have any other AoEs yet. We might not want the Meteor if we end up with a Flame Strike and a Blizzard. At that point, we'll want a Fireball. But for now, we take the Meteor just to have some board clear here. See, so now we got a Blizzard. Not complaining exactly, but that's a good secret. A second Ravencaller, yeah, baby. So we're getting through the picks here. We really need a Silence and maybe a Poison, and I should try to get some taunts here too. Our minion base is a little lacking. We've got a bunch of spells, so the Breath is really only good if we get a Vex Crow. The Geist is only really good if we get minions. I mean, right now we can do the maybe our Ravencaller will give us four pigs that we can turn into ghouls. I don't know. I think we take the jelly just in case we get some taunts going here. So the Corpse Taker is really tough in this meta, especially in Arena, because it doesn't have the rush one, right? So they gave us a couple lifesteal. I don't even think there were that many Divine Shields, if any. Were there any Divine Shields? Definitely not in Mage. Okay, so a couple. So the Rush Werewolf has Divine Shield, so there's definitely some. But he did not get much love. I think we take the Enten here just to try to get some fat later. So the Swift Messenger is really good. Initially, my favorite werewolf for Arena was the 8-3. The first 2 weeks of Witchwood Arena, he was extremely good. But since the meta sped up, this guy's the new one. The Swift Messenger is definitely the new werewolf that you want, the new Worgen. But I don't know if we want it over the healing. We don't need 2 Bonfire Elementals. At least then we could draw a card off of one, but if we drop this guy turn 5 and turn 6, we're probably dead by then. I think we need the Messenger. We don't have a 4-drop yet anyway. Yeah, let's take the Messenger. There's our Poison. There's a Taunt. Okay, so this is another tough grouping. This goes along with the Meteor, Fireball, Dragon, Scalebane pick. I think we need a Poison. Yeah, I'm going to miss that Defender though. Okay, Toothy Chest, we tried it. We tried it again. Talk about the idea of liking this guy, it just never works out, so we're going to have to take that guy. So I wanted the Beetle earlier, and I took the Sorcerer's Apprentice over it. But these two are just too good for us, so I wanted a Taunt. Phantom Militia is my new favorite taunt, my favorite taunt from the new set, because of the value you get late game. So last with the Paladin run, we discovered with our Elemental twice Ozark, right? And on turn 10, we were gonna drop him as a 5/15. We were lucky enough to have 2 Elementals to chain him off of. but for 9 mana he's a 5/15, and for 9 mana you get a 6/12 out of this guy. It's not all stacked up, so it is more susceptible to AoE, but Ozark is susceptible to, you know, a Hex or uh, an Equality. You know, it has its value either way, but overall stat-wise, this guy's just so insane, especially since our deck is really slow. We might have to win by pinging face 30 times. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we have that great of a win condition yet. But on the other hand, an elemental for a chain is always good, and we might need the random mage spells to win. We've got the Glyph already. There are 25 mage spells in the current standard, 26 if you count the quest, and so a lot of those would really help us with the board clear. Some of them, in this deck, we definitely don't want to get the book, right? Like the one that draws 3 minions, 3 cards, and tosses spells. We don't want Deck of Wonders. I think we take the Phantom Militia. I think that's the right choice there. This is a crummy one. We'll take the Elemental at least. You can sometimes freeze and get value out of it. So we've already passed a Pyroblast. I think we take the 4-drop Elemental here, especially because we actually have some good discovers, right? So this guy after a Ravencaller, I mean, it's not insane value, but having 2 0 to cast minions is kind of nice then. And we could still get something. Having a Pyroblast, though, I don't know, I think we might need the Pyroblast. Yeah, I'm talking myself into a Pyroblast. I don't think we need a second Blizzard here, especially since we have a Meteor. Let's take, what do you guys think? Do we take the Pyroblast or the Manipulator? I guess the Manipulator at most really helps with the Glyph, and then only if it's a Pyroblast, because then we get the value we need. There's not even the greater arcane missile anymore, so other than Pyroblast, there's not that high of cost. There's the one that gets you all your secrets, but that's we're not going to pick that with our Glyph. All right, we'll do a Pyroblast. Let's do it. Do I like Ravencaller enough to have 3 over a Shroom Brew? Yeah, you're right. I am. I do. Let's do it. All right, there's a fat. That's what we need. I don't like the Mystic. I like the idea of the Mystic, but with our luck, it just never really works out. Same thing with the Walnut Sprite, and we passed up on 2 Beetles, so I'm really happy to get a Beetle. This guy's okay for 4 mana. He's actually not that bad for 4 mana. Obviously, he's way better for the value. He's just a dude for 4 mana. It's kind of like Lone Champion, where for 3 mana for a 2/4 is fine. It hits your curve. It fills up a spot on the board. It's okay. Obviously, you want the value out of both of them, and since we have no dragons at all and are very unlikely to get one, I think we take the Cinderstorm and try to get it at a good spot for us. Let's discover. We've got some elementals going here. Okay, so here's a dragon, and as far as the Marsh Drake goes, I think it's probably best kind of like Voodoo Doll, it's probably best in Mage, just because of the hero power being able to take care of it right away. It's the only one that can take care of it right away. Rogue is close. Obviously, the board has to be clear, and in some situations, Rogue's better because you could turn 2 Dagger and then get rid of it right away. So you're getting the Marsh Drake on turn 3, which is way better. I don't think we want a counterspell. If we had an Arcanologist to draw one of our secrets, I would want a second secret, but I don't want a secret just for the sake of secrets. We saw what happened to the Mage that had that last time. Oh man, do we take the 4th Ravencaller? Oh man, I love me a Ravencaller. I don't know, what's our taunt look like? Can I do it? Is it too memey to take a 4th Ravencaller over a mid-range taunt here? We've got a lot of 3s, but those are misleading 3s. Again, I wish we could have a button here show us spells and minions, because yeah, we've got our three Ravencallers, but Frost Nova, I really hope we're not casting that on turn 3. Arcane Intellect is good on turn 3 if we can get there. The Phantom Militia will probably have to save. I think I have to do the Rotten Apple. I don't know though. 4 Ravencallers? Ah, that's that's eight free 1/1s. That's a lot. That's a lot of 1/1s. With 8 of them, it gives you a really good chance of getting one of the guys that discovers something else. Either the frog. Man, I gotta take the rotten apple though. I'm gonna regret this if another taunt comes up though. Okay, so far not so much. What do our 4-drops look like? Pretty sad, huh? Alright, we'll take a Conjurer, why not? Do we have any 6-drop minions? Just the Enten? Alright, let's get another Elemental. Yeah, we like that guy. So our last pick, do we want a second Blizzard? So we never saw a Flame Strike. Maybe a second Blizzard is better than these guys. We've got a really solid 3 curve as far as minions to drop. It's not that strong, so this combo is obviously better than any of our other 3 drops. The Ley Line only helps our elementals. We've got two elementals that chain. We've got the Bonfire Elemental and the Servant. And then how many do we have total? So we've got the Ice Walker and the Frost Elemental. I thought we had another one in there. Did I miss one? No, there's got to be one more. I thought. Is that it? Maybe we do need another elemental then. Though with Ravencaller, our chances of hitting an elemental are pretty good. I forgot the exact number. It was the second most creature type. Beast was number 1, and then elemental. And I think it was like 8? Were there 8 elementals? So out of 6 out of 53, that's pretty good to get at least 1 elemental. Maybe we shouldn't rely on that though. I don't know if that's. I don't know. I think if we're drafting on hopes that our Raven Elemental will create our elemental, our Ravencaller will create our elemental chain, we might be in trouble. I thought I had one more. One. You guys just want to hear me count to 2 all night? A bunch of times? Probably not. 2. It does change it. 2 Blizzards, though, in this meta might be really good. And then a solid 3-drop. Do we have anything even that solid? I think I have to have the Elemental just for the chain, because on turn 4, this guy into Bonfire is probably the best thing we could do. Yeah, let's do that. If I'm ever at a place where I need a second Blizzard though, feel free to rub it in. Okay, so I'm actually pretty far off on what the meta is. I don't know. I honestly don't know how far what's going to get us to 12 wins now. It's just been so weird to catch up to it. I keep thinking we have solid decks when we get to like what 4 to 6 wins. It's been a tough week here with this meta, with this aggro meta. Let's do it though. I think the Ravencaller is where it's at.